was a flat-out disaster. A couple of the other candidates, including Marco Rubio, in effect, defended the invasion of Iraq. What side do you think most Republicans in 2016 are on?
I think everybody agrees, almost, other than, well, even Jeb. It took him 5 days to come up with an answer. He's not too sharp. 5 days. You remember that? When he announced he didn't know it was a good thing, bad thing. Ultimately, he said it was a bad thing. But the Iraq war was a disaster. It was a mistake. We spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives, Tucker, thousands of lives, wounded warriors who we love all over the place. What do we have? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Iran is taking over Iraq as sure as you're sitting there. And that's the way it is. We get nothing. They get the oil. They get everything. We get nothing. So it was a huge mistake, whether people like it or not. And I'm the only one with the vision to have said, don't do it. And I wasn't even a politician when I said that.
Donald, last night, of course, you took on George W. Bush vociferously, as we were just talking about. A lot of pundits this morning and last night saying that was a huge mistake. South Carolina, George W. Bush is hugely popular, that he's going to be campaigning for Jeb this week. So you obviously disagree with that point.
Well, I don't think it's a mistake to say that the war was a tremendous mistake. I think the people in South Carolina, who I know very well, and I'm doing very well there, I think most of them understand. Look, all smart people know that the war in Iraq was a huge bungle. It was a huge mistake. It was a tremendous mistake. And then it was made worse when Obama got us out the wrong way. He should have left some people there. I was against the war, but the way he got out was terrible. And it led to all of the things that you see right now, which is a total catastrophe. But getting us into that war was a mistake. Now, if I'm going to say that and that's going to be negative for me, then I'm going to have to say it anyway because I tell the truth. Don't forget, in that room you had so many special interests. You had all special interests and lobbyists. And they're all cheering on their candidate because their candidates will do whatever they wanted to do. I'm self-funding my campaign. I'm putting up my own money. So I had my wife and my children there, and they had lots of people. And lots of people have a lot of things at stake. Jeb Bush spent $148 million on this campaign, and he's nowhere. He's not going to go anywhere.
Let's listen to some of the audience reaction last night, Donald, specifically around your attack about George W. Bush and 9/11. Take a listen to the audience reaction and the boos.
Okay.
Let me just tell you this. Jeb is so wrong. Jeb is absolutely so... that's just so you understand... You know what that is? That's Jeb's special interest and lobbyists talking. Look, let me just tell you something. Jeb is so wrong.
So in the room, all these boos. Tucker mentioned the Drudge poll. There's a Blaze poll on the internet that had you crushing the other candidates last night.
Well, there's a Time magazine poll too, and I was at 77%. That's a lot when you have 6 people up there. I was at 77% that I won. So obviously the people out there agree. Don't forget, and Tucker, you said it fantastically. Something's going to have to happen with the party, or we're going to lose yet another election. I'm not even doing it to win election. I'm doing it out of common sense. The war was a horrible thing. If we're not going to admit that, you're going to have yet another election where the Democrats are going to win. And guys like, Ted Cruz cannot win an election. He's strident. He's nasty. He's not a leader.
Hey,
he's
Donald,
a horrible leader.
Speaking of Ted Cruz, he last night